Okay, hello. We're only at 3.5 months, so I'm not due another vlog yet. Although, all I will say about my hair is that it should be like, I don't know what's it called when you shape it up. Yeah, it should be shaped up at this point, I think, to make it look neat. But my whole thing is that I just want to leave my hair alone. I want to know what my hair would have been like had I not relaxed it, texturized it, weaved it, put a wig on it, whatever. So I'm just gonna leave my hair. All this dyeing business. Obviously the American women are leading the way with this natural hair movement. But I've watched a couple of vlogs this morning, and like, you know, a lot of them were like dyeing it, and I don't know. But for me personally, the clue is in the name, hair dye. You put it in your hair, it dyes. So for me personally, you know, I don't know if there's natural hair dyes or whatever, but for me personally, I'm just not putting anything on my hair, no form of chemicals on my hair whatsoever, because I've learnt my lesson. Some people, clearly, you haven't learned your lesson. So I'm not putting anything like that on my hair. But yeah, my main reason why I'm doing this vlog today is just because a lot of people have been saying, why do you keep talking about this hair issue? What's going on with you and weaves? Why do you keep talking about it? You know, I find it disturbing, to say the least, that all of us, the majority of black women in the United Kingdom are walking around with somebody, you know what I mean, are not showing their afro, they're not showing their natural hair. That's my issue. Why is that? Why is it that we're all covering our hair and we're all saying things like, oh, maintenance, versatility? Afro hair can be versatile. Afro hair is easy to maintain. It takes 5 minutes to spritz it and put some grease in it or whatever, and you have to maintain a weave. The only difference with a weave is that you cannot feel free to like get in the bath and wash your hair. Do you know what I mean? You can't grease your own scalp. There's so many things with a weave. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of money that it costs. I went into the Indian hair shop yesterday, and I said to the guy, I'm going to picket the shop because I'm going to get black women to stop buying all these weaves and everything. And he was like, no, it's not just black women, it's white women as well. Look, here's a section for white people, they come in here and buy it too. The section was so small, the shop is huge, the section was so small, yeah? And he's trying to say white people come in and buy things, you know, that's fine. But it's predominantly black women that feel the need to completely cover their hair. And I looked around the shop at that time that I was in there, and it was all black women. There was no white people in there whatsoever. All black women, and none of those black women, apart from myself, were showing their own natural hair. I asked two young girls, like, you know, what is it with the hair choice? Do you know what I mean? Why have you done this to your hair? And they basically relaxed their own hair, had it up in a ponytail, and then they had some fake hair, long fake ponytails. Both had the same matching hair or whatever. They were sisters. So I said, why the hair choice? They said, oh, it's just easy to maintain, it grows my hair, the usual. Do you see what I'm saying? So I said, you know, would you consider like showing your own hair? Like having your own natural hair? Not relaxing it, growing the relaxer out. They just looked at me like, huh? Like, they weren't sure what I was talking about. Do you know what I mean? Natural hair, what do you mean? And then their mum quickly was like, I was telling them to have their natural hair. I don't understand all this weave business. Yeah, I said, but auntie, do you know what I mean? Like, your hair is relaxed, her hair was relaxed. So how can you, do you know what I mean? Like, she said, oh yeah, but at least it's my own hair, which I agree. It's better if you've relaxed your hair and it's your own hair, but relaxers kill your hair. Do you know what I mean? They kill it. Relaxed hair is dead hair. Do you know what I mean? Chemicals kill your hair. It's very dangerous. So, do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a definite lack of guidance. Do you know what I mean? Within our community, for black girls, there's a definite lack of guidance. Because even for me, when I did my first 1 or 2 vlogs, I said, oh, it was me that relaxed my hair when I was 16 or whatever. It wasn't. When I look back, when I look at pictures and things like that, come age 11, my hair was relaxed. When I started secondary school at 11, my hair was most definitely relaxed. So therefore, my mum relaxed my hair. My mum relaxed my sister's hair. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just keeping our hair natural, I don't understand, you know, when she gets back, I'm going to be asking her, you know, what was the thinking behind that. I'm going to interview her, because to this day, she's 60. She came here at 30. She was wearing an afro. She quickly fell into line of this European standard of beauty of long hair, long weaves, whatever. And she's, for as long as I can remember, she's had like a curly weave that she still has to this day. So, you know, and her hair, her afro hair underneath is so thin that that's not gonna make a comeback. Just like the hairdresser said, if we continue to wear these weird weaves and wigs and do all these things to our hair, by the time we get to 55, 60, some women will be bald, like no hair. So like, for me, this is like a really important issue. Not just because of the cosmetic, do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily just the look of the weave, it's the principle behind it that so many black women, most black women, they feel like how they look is not acceptable, to the point where they're hiding their hair and they're not even realising that what they do. I, for one, can vouch for the fact that I was not realising that. I was not thinking, yeah, me wearing this weave means that I don't love myself. But it does. Do you see what I'm saying? Because how come I don't, you know what I mean? Even now, I don't know what to do with my hair. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what to do with my hair. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I love it and everything. I'm glad that it's afro, but I actually don't know what to do with my hair. And to me, that's disturbing. I'm 33. Do you see what I'm saying? It's because I just followed fashion. I followed the crowd. I went and had the weave. I did all this kind of stuff. Do you see what I mean? I just, you know, like I said from the beginning, we need to think about why we're doing that. I think we should, personally, I think we should stop doing that. I would like to see the majority of black women wearing their own hair. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's another thing I've noticed is that some of the women who are actually natural underneath their weaves and their wigs and whatever, they're like, no, I'm not ready. Well, some of them show it sometimes, but some of them, the fact that they still wear weaves and things and they're saying, yeah, it's just a different style or whatever, do you know what I mean? Your own natural hair can be, especially when it's long like that. I don't get it. I don't get why you're still wearing weaves. The same with these American vlogs or whatever. I'm hearing now that, yeah, we've got our hair, we've done our TWA, but sometimes we wear like different protective styles in our hair or whatever. That's another thing what I want to prove in my vlog, yeah, that I had the most terrible hair that you could ever imagine. It was so damaged. I've shaved the whole thing off. I'm allowing my afro to grow, and that's, I want to prove that afro hair will grow if you just leave it alone. Do you see what I mean? So, you know, all this, and I'm not gonna have no protective styles. I don't want to spend another day without my afro. Do you know what I mean? I feel really upset that, you know, God only knows what I would have looked like had I just left my hair alone. Do you know what I mean? But I received no good advice. Do you know what I'm saying? And by the time, I just never even thought twice about it. By the time I did, my hair was destroyed. There was nothing I could do, so I was trapped underneath the weaves and the wigs and stuff. And I think, you know, that's another important reason why, you know, it's good to do these kind of things, because it can show that, you know, no matter, you're not trapped underneath the whatever you've got on your hair at the moment. You can show your own hair. I'm sure most people have got much better hair than me, so if I can do it, other people can do it. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, it's almost like people are trying to make me feel bad that I'm highlighting the fact that all these women, do you know what I mean? Because what are we doing? And that's another thing, the elders in our community as well. I just think, you know, these ones, a lot of these women who've got dreadlocks, had dreadlocks for 15 years or whatever, you're an elder, you're walking around just seeing all these young girls. No one ever said to me, do you know what I mean? I think one guy once, he said, oh, you need to take the weave off, but he never actually explained his thinking behind that or whatever. So I just went on my merry way. Yeah, it's a hairstyle. Do you see what I'm saying? But no, it's a big denial of who you are. It's a big pretense. When I see now, when I look at pictures, I was looking at pictures on Facebook the other day, and I see a picture of a white girl with a black girl. And before, I would have just looked at the picture and thought, oh, they look nice, do you know what I'm saying? Pretty girls, whatever. Now I looked at the picture and I thought, wow, there's no distinction between the black girl and the white girl. Do you know what I mean? In terms of how we look. And I'm not saying that in a way where I feel like there should be a distinction. But God intended for there to be a distinction clearly, because that's why he gave us the different types of hair. Do you see what I'm saying? So for the fact that we change our hair to look like that texture, do you know what I mean? This is why, you know, this Lupita woman, she's like, you're not supposed to have idols or whatever, but I just love her at the moment, because she done this speech or whatever. I don't know what it was for, but she did a speech, and I just felt moved, because she's standing there, she's dark skinned, she's just looking, you know, short hair, do you know what I'm saying? She's just looking so glamorous, so beautiful, and she read a letter from a black girl who was saying that she wished that she was never born black, and every day she prays or whatever to God to change her colour. Every day she looks in the mirror, she's still the same colour. Do you know what I mean? So clearly there's a big issue with being dark skinned, having the thick lips, big nose, whatever, just not being European looking. And that is why, if we get to the crux of the matter, that is why all these black women are walking around like that. Because I was even thinking, okay, I used to watch shows. I've thrown away my TV, but I used to watch shows all the time, just like everybody else. And I was thinking, when was the last time when did I ever see a black woman on EastEnders with an afro? Or on Emmerdale or Coronation Street? Do you see what I'm saying? We don't see that. We don't see that. Do you see what I mean? So obviously, we mirror what we see. So we see Denise in EastEnders with her weave. That's why nobody's questioning it. That's why nobody's thinking anything of it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm glad that there are the odd one or two people out here that, you know, they're showing their natural hair and they're showing that, yeah, it's alright. Go true. Do you know what I mean? Which I fully intend to. There's no way I'll never put any form of weave on my hair again. Do you know what I mean? If people can't understand why I find them just disturbing, that's do you know what I mean? What can I do? But with regards to the elders, I don't think I finished my point, but I just feel like they should be walking around, they should talk to young black people. Do you know what I mean? They should talk to young black girls. Do you know what I mean? Because this weave phenomenon, clearly what black girls think that's alright. Do you see what I mean? And that's why they're doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? But if people are saying, okay, they don't want to be cussed out, we shouldn't be putting each other down, which I agree. It wasn't nice when I was on the receiving end, when I was wearing a wig and a weave and people were laughing. It wasn't nice. Do you see what I'm saying? But from an educational standpoint, yes, we should be talking to each other about it. Do you see what I mean? That's what my vlog